Hey people, so I wasn't expecting this, but my hostel roommate, okay, who just happens to be a business consultant, just gave me the best business and YouTube advice I haven't heard in a long while. It's crazy how you can meet people at the right time and at the right place, and sometimes in the very places that you wouldn't necessarily expect to meet them because of the setting or because of the timing or things like that. But it just happens to be the right time to meet them and to also connect and talk with them. So here's the story of how it came about. So basically, he and I stayed in the same room, all right, and so naturally, I'm kind of one of those people type of persons that I have no problem saying, hey, what's up, and and just making basic talk and things like that. And so I guess he recognized that we were basically the same age based on the conversation we were having, and so we made a connection from that point of view. And so because, when I would see him and, we'd have these like talks or laughs or whatever it is, we made a connection, obviously, right? And because of that, and I kind of gave him a little insight as to what it is that I do, and he kind of gave me a little insight. And so one day, like literally, when he woke up, I woke up. It was like, hey, good morning, da 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 da, whatever, and we were just having small talk. And at that point, I hadn't, eaten breakfast or anything. And he said, hey, come with me for a coffee. And I'm like, all right, cool, So nice. We went to the coffee shop and, got the coffee and whatever. And speaking of coffee, if you would like to contribute to my channel or contribute or donate any kind of monies, all right, to me in order to help my journey or whatever it is that you feel you would like to contribute to, you can do so by simply buy me a coffee. You can buy me one, you can buy me two, you can buy me as many coffees as you like, and yes, I will give you a shout out, okay, for giving me that coffee, all right, and I will have that coffee in your name. So I would just like to say thank you in advance. So not only he is a business consultant, but he also works for a pretty high-end bank, okay? And so with all of these factors, this is why he was able to give me the kind of advice, and he was able to point out certain things that I was doing, that I was not doing, and so forth and so forth. And I kept thinking to my head, man, I am so fortunate at this moment because I know this guy charges a pretty good penny for even, let's just say, 3/4 of the advice that he's practically given me for free in that sense, okay? So shout out to you, my friend. But anyways, so the whole idea is that this happened to be a chance encounter that I had, in order for me to grow as far as my YouTube, and in order for me to grow financially as far as certain things that I'm doing or that I'm not doing that would improve my life. I'm just gonna give you an overview of the advice he gave me. Now, speaking of this guy, if you would like to get his advice as far as business or as far as making content, because by the way, he's very successful at it, all right, I will put the link into the description for his TikTok so that you can reach out to him, okay? So basically his advice was just showing me the type of content to make, how to be consistent, why it works, why certain things doesn't work, Also, he was just talking to me about retention, practically all, the types of advice that you would need to grow your social media. And so the whole idea that he was saying was that if you show up all the time, then eventually it's going to be successful. And not only he was telling me that, but he showed me more than he told me. And that's what made me see that what he's saying, not only he's right, but he's successful at it. Now, it's one thing to take advice from someone who is giving you valuable information, and it's another when you apply what they're talking about in order to see the results of the success that they're getting. And so by me posting this one video, and as well as many others to come, this is going to be proof of what he is talking about. So stay tuned for it. Matter of fact, speaking of, I might just do a recap of this video so that we can see how things were at the start of this video and how things were, let's just say, 3 months from now, so that we can compare the difference in terms of where I was and where I am 30 or maybe 60 or maybe 90 days. Let's just say 90 days. That's a better one. We're going to compare from today, 90 days from now, where I am in terms of how much further I got, what I learned, and all of these things, so that we can see, is what he's saying successful, or is it subjective, or is it just false? In the meantime, please do me one favor. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time a new video is uploaded, and as well as give this a like. Please share this video with your family and your friends, and just do me one favor. Just leave me a comment. You gotta leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this video, okay? So that we can get a discussion going. And as always, booyah!